Welcome to Samuels.tr channel. Kevin Samuels was truly a truth seeker, and after many years of educating both men and women of all races, but particularly those of African descent, in the art of navigating the ever-complex dating world, he was sadly ripped from our lives as he was called back home to the Almighty in 2022. Some of us, myself included, instinctively recognized the truth of his message. Many found his message rather unpalatable. I am hoping with this channel to make his message that little bit more digestible in a more feminine and softer manner. I hope this helps my sisters in the Black community who saw him as an enemy. Being Black myself, I hope I can bridge that gap. And oh, by the way, my father was also called Samuel, so in a twist of fate, I pay tribute with this channel to my father, who is also where Kevin has gone. I love how the Icelandic have a way of acknowledging someone's daughter in the same way as someone's son. So I appropriate the Icelandic way to find a suitable name for my channel, Samuels.tr, Samuel's daughter. Enjoy the video.
Hello.
Good morning. It's like nearly 4 a.m. in London. Thank you so much for allowing me on your show.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I am well. How old are you?
I'm 29. I've just turned 29 in October.
All right. And what do you got? What are we talking about?
So your show is about this is a high valued man's world.
This is it was missing. This is a high value man's world. Is this a high value man's world? Yep. The ultimate question. What do you think? Is it a high value man's world? Is it not? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm quite new to your content, but I believe so. And I'm actually seeking a high valued man at the moment. Being 29, I haven't got children either. I did travel the world for like 4.5 years. So I kind of was so focused on work as an air stewardess. I didn't make much time to use that age period to really date and meet anyone. Okay. So now I'm taking it seriously.
You're seeking a high value man?
Yeah, a high valued man, yeah.
Why? Why do you want a high value man?
Because they're worth so much more physically, mentally, financially.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. Do you want kids?
Yeah, I do.
How many kids would you like to have?
Oh, I'm so glad to be bringing you this video. May I congratulate both Kevin Samuels and this young lady on such a beautiful interaction between an older man and a younger woman genuinely seeking advice. Underline the word genuinely seeking advice. This is all Kevin Samuels wants or wanted. This is all somebody earnestly wanting some advice to help them. That's what he was there for. He was happy to help. So I repeat what I've said before. How could this man be insulted, called a misogynist? How? Look how he almost adopts a fatherly kind of figure for this woman. He's giving her the same kind of advice, I am sure, that he would give his own daughter. And she's lapping up his advice. I really congratulate this young woman. Well done. It wouldn't surprise me to hear that she achieved her goal. I don't know how many years ago this video was done. I should do my research, but it's for sure less than 4 or 5 years. I am sure by now she's happily married somewhere or in a meaningful relationship. Well done, girl. Hey, did you notice? She's British. I am British. Okay, enough of the British self-congratulatory. But I don't know. It makes a difference, no? To see someone doing it right. This is what I wish for everyone else. I really like that. And it's got nothing to do with the fact that she's British. Okay, it's a lie. Forgive me. What can I say? I like it when the other British girls do well. Forgive my broken voice. I have a cold.
That's
And I
fair.
want to
Do you want kids?
Yeah, I do.
How many kids would you like to have?
2 to begin with.
To begin with? Yeah. All right. Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're married and pregnant with your first child?
No, I imagine myself taking care of the home and like being that support for my husband.
So did you go? You
Yeah.
said you went to college?
Yes, I did, but I
Yeah.
dropped out.
Do you have a bachelor's?
No, I have a diploma, which is like equivalent to the first year in college.
Uh-huh.
And I have a certificate in education, which is like equivalent to like part university, like the first year, but
Okay.
no, nothing standard. No.
So how tall are you?
I'm 5'7".
Dress size?
Okay, maybe not.
I said dress size?
I'm a UK 10 or 12. I don't know what that is in US.
Okay. How much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
I'm 147 pounds.
All right. Here's a tricky one. On a scale from 1 to 10, where would you rank just your face, fresh face out of the shower, no makeup, no hair extensions, no anything, and you cannot use 7?
5.
So, and you're 29?
Yeah.
So, this becomes a math equation at this point. A high value man, what percentage of men make 6 figures or more over there?
I don't know actually.
So here she was asked a simple question, why do you want a high value man? Which is what she had originally stated. I want a high value man. Now, hey, that's normal. That's a good thing. I think all women should aim as high as possible. So for every woman, I think saying I want a high value man is in of itself no crime whatsoever. Of course, one must then qualify what a high value man means to that particular woman. But saying you want a high value man is completely legitimate. And then Kevin Samuels asks her, why do you want a high value man? And she states, and I could see that this is a genuinely honest answer, because they're better value. That by definition is what high value means. Completely fair enough, right? So no issues there. Now notice how they have this rapport between them. I don't know if you see this, but I certainly see it and feel it. You know, he laughs at some of her answers. He's softer than usual towards her. She's very sweet. I like her very much. Maybe it's the high-pitched voice. I don't know. I think that perhaps makes her more childlike. She probably sounds younger than her years. But I think that increases her femininity. And I think, you know, even though it might be difficult to put your finger on it, you kind of feel it, that she's softer, she's gentler. She herself states later in the video that she's calm. You can feel that. And she's a nice looking lady as well, I have to say. So, you know, all in all, he finds it easy to interact with her. That's it. It's only a conversation, but you can already see from the first few minutes that they are able to communicate in a civilized manner. She's not interrupting him like I see in so many Kevin Samuels videos. You know, he's constantly getting interrupted. You know, his back is constantly being hiked up. You know, they're always trying to get his goat right from the get-go, making him agitated, and perhaps this explains why sometimes he becomes harsh in his interaction with women. But here is a woman who is just speaking to him in a normal fashion. It's very nice to see. It's pretty rare, isn't it? I really, really like this woman's way of speaking. Her voice is nice to listen to. Her manner is gentle and soft, as a woman's manner should be. Her voice and manner alone give such a good impression of her, even if she had been overweight. Now, from the statistics she gives of her own bodily dimensions, which I think is within the normal range, it's kind of average, yes. So I agree that she is around average. I think, however, that she underestimates her SMV value a little bit. Given what I say about her presumed femininity, I think she could have been at least a 6, even a 7. But then Kevin always said, don't say 7. So, but at least a 6, right? I think she's slightly above average, if not more. So, this interaction is very useful to see in action once in a while. So a man like Kevin Samuels, who has a terrible reputation for interacting badly with women, to see him interact so nicely with a woman makes you think, well, it is possible. So if it doesn't happen very often, is it that he is incapable of interacting nicely with a woman, or does it depend on the woman he's speaking to? Food for thought, no? I think it's the latter. I think if the woman he's speaking to is abrasive and brash and arrogant, he's already a little bit defensive. And for him, defensive always came out a little bit blunt and harsh, given that he's actually there to give them advice. So if he's annoyed with them, he gives perhaps the harshest advice possible. The most dismissive assessments of their SMV value. It's quite sad because then the woman is demoralized, and then she probably doesn't follow through because she's received such harsh advice in her view that she dismisses the whole thing and continues her life as before the conversation with Kevin Samuels. And the whole point was that her conversation with him would have been to help her to get one rung or 2 rungs up the ladder towards the goal, towards the man of her dreams. But because of her actions, that goal is smashed down even before she's able to take advantage of any good advice that he has for her. So that's one lesson I take from this video, that this woman's interaction with Kevin Samuels enables the gentle advice that she needed. Now, he does drop a lot of hard truths on her, which we will see later in this video. But in many ways, I don't need to be doing this video. I, Samuels Dottier, as I've said in my introduction videos, on all of my videos, I am aiming to soften the blow. But here, my job is already done before it started. Kevin Samuels is already softer to this woman than he usually is. So, you see, if any women are watching, how you talk to a man makes a big difference in getting him to help you, if that's what you want or need. So, big lesson as a takeaway from this video. Your approach to a man makes all the difference. This doesn't only mean during the dating phase, when you're married to a man as well. I have tons of anecdotes about this, but it's not about me. So back to this lady. So she doesn't have a college degree, but it doesn't matter. As Mr. Samuels always said, there may be 1 or 2 issues about commitment, not following things through to the end. Okay, but that's not really the priority here. in her interaction with her man. She also states that she's 29, a little bit getting older, a little bit, but I would say in this modern world, 29 is nothing. These days, the age at first marriage is ever higher than in previous years. So, yes, he's correct that she's getting to that danger zone age group. But I think with her personal attitude, she behaves like someone perhaps 10 years younger. So that already stands her in good stead with men who may not judge her as a 29-year-old just by seeing or interacting with her. So in this regard, she has already helped herself. I think that's a very important point to make. But of course, biologically, time is running out. Yes, so of course, and she herself knows this is why she's coming for advice. So she's an intelligent woman, and she's making the correct changes to her dating life as she would like. A high-value man, or any man for that matter, and she knows.
A high value man. What percentage of men make six figures or more over there?
I don't know actually. Haven't checked that.
Well, what do you think?
Maybe like 10% of the population here in London.
Okay, 10%. 10%. Okay, so the top 10% of men. Okay, so if you want a man in the top 10% of earners, that means he's an above average man, right? So if you say that you're a 5, that's right about average, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you're 147 pounds, UK 10 or whatever, I mean, in the ballpark of average.
Mm-hmm.
All right. How does that equate to high value man?
Can my femininity energy over give me an advantage, because I'm quite calm. A lot of people say that.
Yeah.
And I'm a listener, and I do believe in God.
Okay, but do you think that there are women who are 8s, 9s, and 10s who have the same thing as well?
Yeah, possibly. I'm sure they do, and they're really stunning, beautiful, and got great figures.
All right.
Really
so, okay, if you say top 10% of men, so if I threw you in a room with the top 10% of men, and I put 10 men in the room, and I put 100 women, and I put 100 women in the room, it's roughly the same odds. Only one man per woman. What's going to be the differentiation between the women?
Ooh. Like ratio wise?
Yeah, because you're limiting your selection of men to the top 10% of men, and at almost 30 years old, some of the things that many women would say that they have done in that time frame to separate themselves from the pack would be academic and career, but you haven't done that.
Well, I traveled the world for 4.5 years, so that's a huge accomplishment in terms of me doing that. A lot of people haven't done that.
Okay. That's true. How did you travel the world, by the way?
I worked at Emirates Airline from 2015 to 2018. Mm-hmm. Yes, I was based in Dubai.
Okay, so plenty of higher earning men probably flew on those flights.
Yeah, I didn't make any effort whatsoever.
Did they make any passes?
Yeah, some did.
Some.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you've been around men who are, see what I'm saying is, It's not. It's very common for women to want men for their resources. But if you have to make yourself a man in the top 10% of men, wouldn't you think you would want to get the best you could get for your value?
Yes. So what would that be in terms of me and my specification? What
Well, you
what
um, by your own ratings, you rank yourself as around about an average looking woman, average weight.
without makeup?
It's okay. Okay, but you don't go from makeup doesn't give you 4 points.
Oh, okay.
So if this were 80 years ago, women in your position were they trying to get in the top 10% of men?
No.
Why? Do you not think they wanted more money and to live better?
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
So why do you think women didn't try back then? Well,
As is typical for Kevin Samuels, he now wants to know in greater detail what she assesses to be a high value man. And it turns out, through a series of clever questions he poses to her, that in fact what she would like is a man in the top 10% of manhood. Now, she is just stating her wish. This is, again, as I've already said before, this is fine. We just need to tease out delusions and lack of insight into the realities of the dating market and stuff like that for somebody who doesn't know and who genuinely is seeking the correct information. And for someone who is so agreeable, actually, it's not very difficult to educate her because she's willing to listen. And this is the theme of this video. Throughout, we see her cooperation with Kevin Samuels. This is good. Of course, it's a shock to the system to be told, well, you have to really lower your standards, lower your preferences, lower your sights because time is running out. So, yes, I do have sympathy. It's not very nice for either sex, either men or women.
If this were 80 years ago, women in your position were they trying to get in the top 10% of men?
No.
Why? Do you not think they wanted more money and to live better?
Yeah, I'm sure they did.
So why do you think women didn't try back then? Well,
Because they just accepted who they were and attracted that instead, I guess.
that's one answer. But these men are limited. Once they're gone, they're gone. If you can't get one, then what?
Then I accept what other men are available or single, you could say, and want the same things as me.
Do you want to be? Would you be that man?
That man who's high valued, accepting someone like
No,
me.
no, no.
or
No, no,
just-
no. Would you want to be the man who's not a high value man, who's just a regular average man that you have to accept now because you can't get a high value man? Would you want a woman coming to you that way?
As long, I wouldn't mind